Welcome back, everyone. I'm Zell, and today we're looking at the Wee Knife Company Double Helix. And wow, guys, this one has been a long time coming. I saw the first inklings of this knife a year ago at Blade Show. Very quiet little screening that Joe gave us of here is something we're working on, and I've had to keep my trap shut for more than 12 months. A little rough. Anyhow, so what is it? Well, first we're going to go through what we normally do. Let's look at the knife itself, then we'll get into the mechanism. Because the mechanism is super cool, obviously, but we need to know what we're getting out of the knife itself if we're going to buy one, don't we? First off, we got a closed length of 4.6 inches. Because of the way they put the mechanism on the outside of this one, we're at 0.63 thick. So we are a little thick, but not too bad. And we have a really, really short spine-to-spine height of right around an inch. So it's actually a compact knife, even though it's a little thick. And an open overall length of... Man, I'm going to have to back the camera out just a little bit. Sorry about that. I need to get a stiffer stand for that camera. But we're at about 7.9 inches with a little over 3¼ inches of blade and about a little over 3 inches of cutting edge. With a blade stock thickness of 4 millimeters, which I had to measure several times until I saw how it was chamfered and then swedged, because it didn't look like 4 millimeter blade stock until I took that stuff into account. And we have a weight of 4.56 ounces and a grip length of 3.8 inches from here to here. You add another almost an inch if you go out to here. I didn't put that in the measurements, but there you go. Our blade steel is S35VN. Of course, our handle material is titanium. And getting a look at the outside of the handle, we have a standard Wee pivot. We have Wee titanium screws. We've talked about them many times. Very, very good screws. And one thing I do want to note, if you have seen the ones from Blade Show, we talked about making this pivot or making the slider a little easier to get a hold of, because to begin with, all they had was a standard screw in there, and it was a little rough on the office guy's fingers. So Wee has went and put a collar around that screw, which hopefully I'll have a what's inside video up soon to show you exactly how that works, and makes that a lot nicer. Now, moving on down the knife, we have the slider lock moving all the way through. This is one single piece of titanium, goes around to make the spring, and held in place right here. Now, people are going to be like, what the heck? That ain't going to work. Well, trust me, it works. Wee has tested, and more tested this, and the 6AL4V titanium is more than strong enough to create that spring and not break. Now, the other side of the knife, very much the same, except we have a pocket clip on stilts of sorts, standoffs, through the spring. Pocket clip works good. I've had it in 511s. I haven't had it in Carhartts, but if it fits in the 511s, it'll fit in the Carhartts, trust me. And very nicely styled standard Wee pivot there. And overall, just a cool look for the double helix. Now, let's get the knife open, and we'll do a little size comparison. There's our Rat Model 1 and our Spyderco Delica. So a little smaller than the Rat, slightly bigger than the Delica. And weighs more than the Delica, less than the Rat. You know the game there. Is there anything else we'd like to... Oh, this will just be fun. We'll put the Production Praetorian up there by it. And yeah, we'll have to back the camera out a little more. There we go. And a lot smaller than the Praetorian. Of course, different use case for this knife. This is a general EDC knife. And I guess since we have the blade out, let's get a look at it. If you have microscopic eyes, you can see that it says S35VN down in there. And I can't get the light up high enough to get it on there for you, but it is there, right there. And they have went to great lengths this time to make that extremely small. We've got a fuller, we're swedged here. We're chamfered here, got a little bit of jimping right across there. Same thing on the other side. We are hollow ground and stonewash, and this is a slightly different stonewash for we. And I don't know if I like it as much as the regular stonewash. It's still a nice stonewash. Man, the stonewash they put on some knives is just so beautiful that it's like, wow. And this is more of a pedestrian style stonewash. Still cool, still nice, but not quite the same. Our handle has also been bronzed and stonewashed very nicely. That's bronze anodized and stonewashed. Like that a lot. In fact, we do a lot of the Todd knife and tools and knives in that manner. And bronze hardware, we also do that. I wonder if we's copying us. Maybe we're copying we. I don't know. Maybe we just found a really cool look that we both like. Anyhow, mechanically, how does this thing work? Okay. Mechanically, we are a slider lock. You push, pull on both sides. Let's go with the blade, you can close it. Before we get into the way the springs work, here is the cool factor for many of you. That blade is locked closed. It is not coming out unless you slide the lock, and then the blade will come out. So how does it pull that off? Okay, well, if we can see down in there, there is your lock open spot. And there is a lock closed spot about 180 out from it up in there. And somewhat kind of sort of similar to an axis lock, but not, because we do have a stop pin in here as well. And I suppose most of the axis lock knives have a stop pin too, but we have a stop pin in there. And the cool part is there's no freaking blade play in this thing. None. I took this one out of the little wee pouch and no blade play. None. And that's something we'll look at here in just a moment. We got some new wee stuff for pouches and such like, but I wanted to show you how it worked first. Before we get into the springs, I'll grab that stuff. And for those of you that have or haven't seen it, well, those of you that haven't, I guess, we have a new wee box. We actually have a UPC code on it, Wee Knife, sales of Wee Knife, Instagram, Wee Knife. Got the name, all that good stuff there on the UPC sticker. And let's look inside. So, a little bit nicer than the old cardboard looking boxes. We have this little thing's new on there. That's the same. Do have WeKnife.com on the back. I don't remember if the old ones had that or not. Whenever you look inside them, they are essentially the same, except we have this now instead of the little card. This is basically Wee Knife giving you a little bit of information about the knife, how it's used, instructions, maintenance, warranty, and the warranty email addresses, and that sort of thing. So, slight changes for the packaging for Wee Knives. And now, let's get into the springs. Let's look at how these guys work. So, watch the spring as I move the slide back. That's it. That's as complicated as it gets. And because it's 6AL4B titanium, that is a very springy material, it holds its shape, goes back to the shape it wants to be. Very, very nice. And I have not learned how to be good with this. I haven't been a Benchmade user in a long time. But you can see that there. The action is very, very good. Running on bearings just like always. And wow. Ergonomics. Okay. Now ergonomics, this is a show knife in part. And I say that because our pocket clip, unlike your normal Wee Knife, the pocket clip, you do feel it. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad, but you do feel it. You can get the hold of the knife, obviously, any way you need to. A little fuller up there makes it really good for your pinch grips. And overall, ergonomically, it's just really great. Even right here, you can choke up on the knife, and you can see with my hand, I've got a little bit of room for really fine detail stuff. I actually probably wouldn't use that one on this knife. It just doesn't feel natural to use it to me, but it is there. And ooh, look at that action. I've had a few Benchmates do that. That's only after they had a lot of break-in. That's right out the box. So, and you can't put your fingers down by the spring. That'll goof things up. But there you go. Really, really nice. Now, normally we have a what would Zell do different here at the end of the video. But first we're going to stick it in the pocket, and then we'll talk about why that's kind of a in the pocket. We don't have much sticking out. What is sticking out looks kind of cool, and goes down in there deep enough you shouldn't have any problems. I've had this in 511s, no issues there. If it works in 511s, it'll work in almost any work pants. Maybe the rigs with the leather thing across the top might be an issue, but I really don't think so. There's quite a bit of room there. Overall, guys, for a knife to show off the way that the slide lock is going to work, I really don't think I would have done anything different. We got a great hollow ground EDC blade. We'll look and see how thin that is so I can find my calipers. Zero that guy. Look at that. Can you see that? I can see that. We're just going to call it less than 20 thousandths like we always do. But, you know, guys, I don't think I would have done anything different to initially show off this lock. Do I hope that WE comes out with many different versions of this lock? Yes, I do. I would like to see this in many different knives. The handle shape is shaped well on this one, but I would like to see the slider lock as a covered lock system, and be able to make the knives a little thinner, some smaller ones, some bigger ones. I would like to see this used very much across the line because it's a really cool lock, and it's also one right now it locks closed and it locks open. And I don't know if WE is going to keep that as a feature, because what I do see here is if you built a knife with thumb studs, or if you build a knife with a thumb hole, or maybe even a flipper, the way these springs are working, you could detent instead of stop on the closed, and I think you would have a very good action. So I'm going to throw in the pause and read card because we forgot it earlier, and then we'll come back and wrap this up. All right, so to wrap this up, the slider lock is a, I would say, built off of the inner. No, it's a new design that is in some ways similar to Benchmade's lock, but it's not. They have done some really cool stuff here with the titanium spring, eliminating some of the problems with your axis lock, and I really look forward to seeing where WE takes this, because I really think it could be a great EDC lock system for many knives in WE's future. And we'll just have to wait and see what they do. I hope it's not one of those things that WE does where, oh, that was cool, they make a few hundred of them, and then they forget about it. Because that, friends, is going to bother me, because they've got quite the good innovation here, and it's just something that needs not only this design, but some future designs. This is a great EDC design, but I would like to see some other designs, like I said, and I'm going to keep talking over and over again about the same stuff. So, this is the Double Helix from WE Knife Company. We'll do a What's Inside video very soon. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check us out almost every week on the Apex News right here on the Ozark YouTube channel. And you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.